Hola, soy Victoria, capitana de School Queens Games y directora del Psychodelic Festival, un viaje astral hecho videojuego. Aquí encontrarás juegos que se sienten como un trip, colores intensos, luces pulsantes y visuales saturados que van desde el Vaporwave a una fiesta disco de los 90. Queremos meterte en algo raro, hipnótico y caótico. Este festival reúne juegos que no buscan ser normales, buscan hacerte sentir.
World Premiere.
Hi, I'm Sandra from Awesome Games. Our game Shil actually started as a glitch. While working on the first prototype, something went completely wrong and suddenly we saw our screens filled with black and pink silhouettes without any lights or shadows. We wanted to fix it, but then we realized that this actually looks amazing and we just decided to build the whole game around it. Shil is a mixture of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. You enter the world, which is completely hidden from you, and you uncover it piece by throwing a ball, where shapes, objects, and environments appear, helping you understand where you are and what you should do next. The story of the game takes you to an unfinished replica of your own mind. It's strange, fragmented, and shaped by an artificial intelligence that created it. AI talks to you and tries to guide you, but it's unclear. Is it helping you to escape or wants to keep you trapped forever? At every step, you have to choose to trust the AI, resist it, or try to break it. Choices you make lead to different endings that range from living happily ever after to mutual assured destruction. We're a small team, and Shil grew naturally out of experimentation and will to push the boundaries of game design. We hope you'll enjoy exploring this strange, unfinished mind.
World Premiere.
Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Break. Upgrade. Explode. Break. Upgrade. Explode.
Bonjour à tous, c'est Judy. Je suis là pour présenter The Breaking Room, mon premier projet solo au sein de mon premier festival, beaucoup de premières fois. Et plus particulièrement, je voulais parler de la place des psychédéliques dans le jeu. Donc initialement, c'est inspiré des projets MK Ultra, qui est un projet super secret de la CIA dans le contexte de la guerre froide, où l'objectif était de trouver un sérum de vérité. Et pour ce faire, ils ont injecté tout un tas de produits à tout un tas de gens, parfois sans même qu'ils soient au courant. Donc ça a eu des effets tragiques, notamment ici, à Montréal. Mais ça a aussi créé un imaginaire très fort, un imaginaire de mystère oppressant, de secrets plus grands que nature. Aussi la promesse de révélations scientifiques qui irait au-delà des sentiers battus, et aussi l'utilisation d'hallucinogènes. Donc concrètement, dans The Breaking Room, le but est de faire un jeu incrémental, fun et spectaculaire avant tout. Donc les effets psychédéliques, les couleurs saturées, les déformations visuelles intéressantes viennent créer vraiment un contraste parfait avec le côté rectiligne, froid, sombre des bunkers style brutaliste. Il y a aussi un sens plus profond, parce que le jeu est une métaphore de notre capacité à porter notre attention, à focaliser sur quelque chose ou changer notre attention de place, mais aussi à bloquer notre attention, bloquer nos sens et rentrer dans un état méditatif. Et les psychédéliques sont une très bonne façon de percevoir à quel point notre attention est malléable, flexible, peut être affectée par tout un tas de choses. À quel point finalement nos sens sont une toute petite fenêtre sur le monde. Donc voilà, j'espère que vous avez aimé le trailer, je vous invite à ajouter le jeu sur la liste de souhaits et je vous souhaite à tous un très bon festival. Bye bye!
Hello， 大家好，我们是橘子糖工作室零和之心的开发者。我们从希区柯克的《迷魂记》、金敏的《未麻的布屋》以及德尔托罗的《水形物语》等浪漫惊悚电影中汲取灵感，以丰富的视觉隐喻去探索复杂的人物心理，模糊梦境与现实的边界。
零和之心的视觉风格采用于现代波普插画的风格，由于故事中具有现代幻想的元素，所以我们决定用迷幻的色彩来表现故事的背景。因此，故事中出现的熟悉的校园事物，比如说像是图书馆、小竹林，或者是厕所隔间，还有人物的肤色，都使用了非现实的色彩去表现，以突出世俗中的奇幻感。
我们希望故事的基调可以平衡日常的场景、较为严肃的主题、奇幻诡异的氛围以及真挚的人物情感，用视觉、听觉以及叙事共同创造出一致的独特风格。
Do you like horror games but jump scares don't scare you anymore? Then this game is for you. Hi, I'm Mandy, the creative director and narrative designer of Name of the Will. This game is a daylight horror that gamifies peer pressure by escaping from a cult. It will make you feel uncomfortable but without a single ghost. You experience how day and night is as a cult member, where everyone looks painfully too happy. Your every thought and gesture is tallied by the system, and to escape from it, you'll only have 7 chances. And every step will force you to make morally difficult choices. This game doesn't punish you for playing it badly, but it punishes you for being human. In here, the horror hides in everyday ritual, unknown punishment, and a false belonging that slowly erase yourself. Your memories, your relationships, and your fate, it all depends on your choices and actions. So we started developing Name of the Will in 2020. This game is inspired by our lived desperate experiences. It's a story about reclaiming agency under pressure. It reflects a world that's shaped by collective trauma, fear, and a system that rewards obedience over empathy. The origin of this cult remains a mystery, but everywhere you look, there are strange hallucinatory signs. It hints of forgotten past. So the demo is available now on Steam. And if you like it, if you're curious about that, don't forget to wish us the game and enjoy the cult.
¿Y si el lugar más terrorífico no fuera un monstruo, sino un recuerdo del que no puedes escapar? Soy Aroa Santana, de Trigger the Monster, y esta es Mía, Memory Fragments, un terror psicológico narrativo donde la memoria se convierte en un laberinto vivo. Explorar las secuelas emocionales de una relación tóxica a través de espacios fragmentados y subjetivos. Aquí no existe una verdad única, solo lo que tu mente está preparada para recordar. La progresión del juego se basa en volver a lugares conocidos y ver cómo cambian con tu estado emocional. No hay combate, avanzas observando, interpretando y conectando fragmentos mientras la realidad se descompone poco a poco. Y en momentos clave, el juego se convierte en supervivencia. Huir, esconderte y contener la respiración cuando el propio recuerdo te está persiguiendo. Visualmente es muy estilizado, con influencia anime, y usa color, luz y distorsión espacial como lenguaje narrativo. Un viaje casi psicodélico con consecuencias emocionales. Si lo que has visto te intriga, puedes añadir Mía a tu wishlist en Steam. Cada apoyo nos ayuda mucho como estudio indie.
Hello everyone, we are everything, three friends who gave up on everything just to make their dream games. I want to talk about our game a little. The Person is a psychological horror game set in a dystopian world where nightmares come alive. You wake up with no memory of who you are, but the world around you seems to remember. You explore psychedelic and strange places, solve different puzzles and switch between characters. Each character have unique skills and you can solve the puzzle by creating a strategy between them. Every choice you make shapes the story and leads to different endings. And your decisions won't just affect you, but also change the lives of those around you too. The more you remember, the less you understand. And if you like to support us, you can wishlist the person on Steam. Thank you so much for listening.
Hi, I'm Lil Yankov. I'm the lead artist and one of the designers working on Shil. I shipped a lot of what you can visually see in the game, so I was responsible for art direction. I did the 3D models, animations, worked on the UI, so yeah, everything that makes our world feel alive. In Shoot It All, you play as Lace and you sit on a swing and you shoot your shoot at absolutely everything, so everything in the world will explode, it will react. The game is a little fun and a little crazy in the best way. Visually, I was really inspired by Into the Spider-Verse and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so yeah, all models are hand-painted. We have custom illustrators to blend 2D into 3D into this comic book look. And yeah, often people cannot tell what is drawn from what is modeled, so this is exactly what we wanted. We hope you will have as much fun playing through it all as we had making it, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Selam, ben Wise Monkeys'den Sude. Biz kendimizin de oynamak isteyebileceği oyunlar yapan 4 kişilik bir ekibiz. Hızlıca oyunumuzdan bahsedeyim. Dustbox'danki yukarıdan bakışlı bir aksiyon gizlilik oyunu. Bizim oyunumuzda kendi silahlarınızı ve oynanış tarzınızı yaratabiliyorsunuz. Yani isterseniz düşmanlarınızı gizlice de öldürebilirsiniz, isterseniz katliam da yaratabilirsiniz. Oyunumuz 70'ler disco esintileriyle birlikte fütüristik bir hava taşıyor ve bizce bu gayet psychedelic.
Hi, my name is Masha Dragostayskaya. I'm the artist and art director of our small game Socket. Socket is a first-person psychological horror where you play as a social worker who obeys a law socket. According to your work contract, you are assigned to live in a house where you must uncover all the secrets of its residents and get to the bottom of a terrifying tragedy that happened many years ago. lying, spying, digging through trash. These are the basic tasks of your workday. By the way, here is a small insider detail. We came up with the idea of a voice coming from the socket because of our noisy neighbors. We could actually hear them through the wall socket. Just don't tell anyone. In our game, we combine 2D and 3D graphics. I draw the characters from 8 different projections, which creates a sense of volume. Textures, animations, cutscenes, concept art, I create all of this myself, in my own style. Almost everything you see in the game is carefully made from scratch. I'm developing the game together with my husband. He's a programmer, a writer, and also a bit of a 3D artist. When you work as a duo, it's hard to say exactly what your role is, because you end up doing everything. Still, that's our small but wonderfully well-coordinated team. And perhaps a talking wall socket isn't the strangest thing that will surprise you. Each resident has a unique story, and their actions can sometimes reveal far more about them than their words ever could. And who knows where workaholism and total devotion to your job might lead you. To find out, stay tuned and wishlist socket right now.
Hello there, Psychedelic Festival viewers. My name is Axel, and this is Henning. And we're here in the studio. We're Ultra Chaos Games, and we're making a game called Deadboot. Deadboot is all about brutality. You're gonna rip chunks out of the environment. Shit's gonna explode. It's gonna be brutal as fuck. You're gonna love it. We've been working really hard on Deadboot for the last year, and it's been a challenge with ups, downs, and a bunch of challenges. Deadboot is still a relatively unknown game, and if you think it looks interesting, please go and wishlist it. It means a lot to us, and don't be afraid to join our Discord as well, and share your thoughts over there. Well, that's all from us. Thank you so much for checking us out, and stay tuned for more. It's been great being here, and I think it's time to get back to work. What do you think, Henning? All right, that's great. That's great. I'll see you later.
Hey, I'm Nathan Fouts from Mommy's Best Games, and my new game, Chain Staff, it's an action platformer with a transforming grappling hook. And it is steeped in the vinyl album cover art from the 70s and 80s, Black Sabbath, Nazareth, Yes, album covers. I love all that kind of stuff. I love sci-fi book covers, real pulpy. I love the tactile feel of everything. Obviously, all the art in the game is hand-painted. We love being able to see the brush strokes and feeling like you can reach out and touch it. The title screen in Chain Staff has got a lava lamp feel to it, so it definitely feels psychedelic to me. That era of album covers and painting and everything is connected to that time, so it feels psychedelic. And the playtesters have all said the environments feel very surreal and dreamy, which is what we wanted to do, is to create these natural environments, but they've been distorted by the star spores in the game, so they feel really dreamlike. We got a heavy metal soundtrack by the Broforce composer, and with some lighter elements as well, though. So I think it's very connected. I think it all feels very psychedelic. So yeah, Chain Staff Psychedelic is rock.
Merhaba, ben Ekin. Anomalistic Revolution oyununda tasarımcıyım. Psychodelic Fest'e bizi davet ettiği için teşekkür ediyoruz.
Merhaba, ben de Deniz. Anomalistic Revolution'da developer olarak çalışıyorum.
Biz bu oyunu 2 seneye aşkın süredir geliştiriyoruz aslında. Oyunumuz anime bazlı bir RPG oyunu. Baş karakterimiz Saya'da gündüzleri yazılımcı olarak çalışmasına rağmen geceleri kabuslarıyla baş etmeye çalışan birisi.
Psychodelic Festival'e kabul ettiğiniz için tekrar teşekkürler. Psychodelic elementler bizim oyunumuzda sadece görsel efektler olmanın ötesinde baş karakterimiz Saya'nın gerçeklik algısının yer yer kırıldığı, rüyalarla gerçekliği birbirine karıştırdığı sahnelerle kendini var ediyor tema olarak. Oyunumuz aslında visual novel türündeki oyunlarla RPG türündeki oyunların bir birleşiminden oluşuyor. Çokça monolog ve diyalog içermesiyle birlikte kabus sahnelerinde katana dövüşleri ve hızlı aksiyon sahneleri de içeriyor. Festivalde oyunumuzu deneyimlemenizi çok isteriz. Hepinize çok teşekkür ediyoruz.
Teşekkürler.
Mani attendate. Hello, this is In from the studio Sketchisevice. Just your average Mexican. You can find us in lots of places, even in Japan. My game, El Boletero, The Etiqueteer. It's a thing. Try it out. I don't think it's psychedelic. I don't think it's weird. But people just keep saying that. So, just gonna embrace it. Give it a shot. It's fun. Thank you.
Buenas, soy Liber de Halsan Games y director de Blow Up, Avenge Humanity, un frenético boomer shooter que presenta una estética psicodélica mediante su paleta de colores agresiva y sus entornos caóticos. También personalmente opino que el estilo retro de los juegos de finales de los 90 y principios de los 2000 es psicodélico por naturaleza, ya que la baja fidelidad gráfica invita a la mente a rellenar los huecos. Este proyecto también está influenciado por otros juegos como Cruelty Squad, que es el boomer shooter psicodélico por excelencia. También por mangas como Chainsaw Man, con la sangre colorida que se muestra en las portadas, y con un toque de ciencia ficción de los años 70 como ese que vemos en películas como Alien el octavo pasajero o las portadas de los libros de la época como Mundo Anillo. Esta mezcla de ciencia ficción y psicodelia es lo que le da identidad a Blow Up. No olvidéis probar la demo y nos vemos al otro lado de las estrellas.
Hello, this is Henri Tervapuro from Platonic Partnership, and I'm the lead designer and coder and modeler and the general bitch of like Voltage High Society, the FPS game. And it's like a FPS game without guns. That's like a design decision. No shooting, no pew pew. Just like you punch monsters to the death and that's it. And I wanted to make something really unique and vibes and exploration based, so it has like a Metroidvania layer to it, inspired by Metroid Prime. So this is like a demo version of Metroid Prime made for €2. Visually it's inspired by one of my favorite movies, that's what the Iron Man, and my absolute favorite movie, what's the name of it in English? Electric Dragon 8000 Volts. That's an amazing movie, and story-wise there's inspiration from Escape from New York, John Carpenter stuff. Design-wise, yeah, I already talked about like the punching stuff. That's like the big design pillar. But apart from that, it's mostly been improvised and just like flow of the mind kind of a thing, and like just in every month just coming up with stuff, what to do and play based on player feedback and such. And things get psychedelic in game development really fast, so that's the most psychedelic you can ever be. Please try it out. Code at 4 a.m. in the middle of the field. Things go pretty crazy really fast. I hope you're not too psychedelic so you can actually play the game, and see you in hell.
You know how you're playing an action game and the action syncs really well to the music?
We really think rhythm and action can go further together.
The music for us isn't just in the background, it's the core of what we're making.
The player gets into this flow state and becomes part of the performance.
You're part of this big jam session. When you play well musically, you also play the game well.
I listen to the soundtrack while designing the characters.
Everything is on beat. You attack on beat, the enemies attack on beat. The environments and characters are all designed to move dynamically with the music.
We use rhythm mechanics to make the action better, and we use the action to make the music interactive.
The game inspires the music, and then the music inspires more of the game. I love being able to express myself in the characters. Players feel that passion. I think that's why they empathize with my designs.
Salut! Eu sunt PaperGod, creatorul jocului Wait Is That Me. Este un action roguelite în care toate acțiunile, mișcările și vocea sunt înregistrate, tocmai ca bucla următoare să fie invocată o clonă care le repetă. Evident, asta te obligă să fii fie în echipă cu clonele, învingând împreună adversarii, fie împotriva, având capacitatea de a le omorâ pentru a nu fi tu omorât de ele în viitor din greșeală. Gameplay loop-ul jocului este similar jocurilor Vampire Survivors și Megabong, având drept adversar principal un mușuroi de adversar de omorât. Acest joc a luat naștere în cadrul Game Jam-ului GMTK Jam 2025, în care tema era Loop. Fiecare dezvoltator a interpretat tema în felul lui, dar eu am gândit-o sub formă de o buclă temporală. Pentru că îmi pasionează jocurile roguelike, am ales să fac această fuziune între gen. Partea vizuală este importantă pentru că folosește un abuz de culori saturate date de multe particule și efecte speciale din scenă. Totul este viu. Am ales acest stil grafic deoarece este foarte copleșitor și fascinant, mai ales când ai multe upgrade-uri și jocul devine un haos total.
Hello everyone, hi chat, I'm Maxim and I'm the developer of Lappysoft, and this is Lappy. Good Lappy, I am here to present Wildos, the glitchy cyberpunk adventure I am creating. Wildos is set in a world where people are using virtual drugs to escape from reality. In this narrative-focused experience, you will complete missions, explore digital universes, build a strong relationship with your AI.
Could you imagine living that way, in a little house lost in the woods?
And learn to survive with the mysterious creator of Wild Doors.
Okay, I have to confess, you're not alone.
Enjoy your first shot of Wild Doors, and don't forget to wishlist on Steam right now. Have a great event, thank you!
Sono Elan Manuguerra, il solo dev di Evolvania, un gioco Metroidvania dove il giocatore impersona un piccolo occhietto che esplora una creatura gigantesca, esplorandone le viscere, gli organi, tutto quello che si trova all'interno. Io considero il gioco psichedelico in alcuni punti, perché questa creatura si ritrova molteplici volte lungo la storia a parlare con il giocatore attraverso delle scene psichedeliche, ad esempio una serie di immagini in rapida successione una dopo l'altra. E in questo Metroidvania il giocatore può fondersi con l'ambiente e creare abilità uniche in base alla sua creatività e in base alla sperimentazione, creando poi dei percorsi alternativi unici all'interno del mondo di gioco. Sto sviluppando questo gioco da circa 2 anni, da solo, faccio tutto tranne la parte audio e sono felice di poter partecipare a questo showcase.
Hi, I'm Seth O'Dale, and I'm the creator of Face Interrogation. I've been creating games for about 14 years now, but Face Interrogation is the first one that really feels like me. And the more I understand myself, the more I understand the types of games I want to make. I grew up poor. There are times we didn't even have power or water, but I always had the escape of these sci-fi world in books and movies. And as I grew up, nothing really changed. And so of course it reflects in the games I make. I love to create these futuristic, post-apocalyptic, psychedelic experiences, shrouded in mystery. And I like to challenge the genre of horror by doing things differently. For instance, Face Interrogation in particular explores the simple fact that dialogue can be so much more terrifying than a cheap jump scare, that you can become completely immersed in a story. So much so that when you're away from it, reality is lacking something, and you feel this undescribable pull back to the world that I've created for you. But making a game that pulls you in, that is the challenge. And I had to get vulnerable with myself. And at times, I would say, well, I'm doing this for me, because I like it, and I hope my players do too. You see, I love dark subject matter, embracing that feeling of gritty, in-your-face horror. But I also like making people laugh with inappropriate robots. I guess that's why Face Interrogation reflects that multifaceted experience that's just truly me.
Hei, jeg er Victor Vega og er utvikleren av Gunsolver, en top-down shooter hvor hver kamp er et puslespill. Spillet er i stor grad inspirert av Hotline Miami og Superhot, spesielt med tanke på ultravold-elementene og de psykedeliske elementene. Men også mye av det eksistensielle. Gunsolver sitt utseende er designet for å være litt abstrahert og dekonstruert. Og det er ikke en tilfeldighet. Hvis du har vært sulten på enda en Superhot eller Hotline Miami med interessante nye mekanismer du ikke har sett før, så anbefaler jeg å sjekke Steam-siden min. Kanskje legge den til på wishlist. Kanskje kjøpe den når den kommer ut i løpet av året. Opp til deg.
Hello, my name is Ned, and I am the developer behind Type the Rhythm. Think Guitar Hero for touch typing. So if you're a teenager or an adult, you already know how to type for sure, but you might not know how to touch type. So maybe you don't use these fingers, maybe you only use your left shift and never your right shift. And if so, you're missing out because there is so much intelligence in your hands. Each finger independently is so smart. And if you're not using these fingers right now, it is so hard to change that. It is so hard to change the way that you move, and especially the way that you've moved for a long time. And I know because I didn't learn to touch type until very late in life. I didn't really get good at it until I built this game. And what the game does different is it's visual. So it's proprioceptive augmentation. It shows you for each finger what it should be doing and how it should move. And it's flashing lights, neon, psychedelic, thumping music. Every single sense that the computer lets us touch, we blast it and try to just zap your brain, zap your nervous system, to change the mapping from letters in your head to motion in your fingers. So if you're not a touch typist and you're curious to learn, I really hope you give it a try. If you're already an excellent touch typist, I especially hope you give it a try because it is so fun. I found it so fun to add this new dimension to my typing of timing accuracy and being able to focus more on lightness and kind of flexibility. Just a different angle on typing. I hope you give it a try, and I'd love to hear what you think.
Cześć, nazywam się Kacper i jestem niezależnym twórcą gier z Polski. Zawodowo jestem deweloperem Godot i to właśnie w nim tworzę własne projekty indie. Uczę entuzjastów gier z Polski, jak zacząć w game devie. Prowadzę platformę edukacyjną Anatomia Gier. Obecnie pracuję nad grą Ballet Meltdown. To strategiczny Ballet Heaven inspirowany klasykiem gatunku, czyli Brotato. Gracz musi przetrwać falę przeciwników nie tylko walcząc osobiście, ale budując bazę i zatrudniając bohaterów, którzy pełnią różne funkcje. Na przykład pomagają graczowi w zbieraniu monet, atakują wrogów albo chronią określonych pozycji. W swoich grach najbardziej lubię łączenie gameplayu z elementami audiowizualnymi. Wiele elementów mojej gry wpływa na tempo muzyki, a utwory dynamicznie zmieniają się zależnie od sytuacji. Mam nadzieję, że spodoba Wam się Ballet Meltdown.
Hi, my name is Armand Papa, a solo developer who created Art is Rifle. There's two things unique about this game. First is the art style. It is psychedelic, but it's organized. It has chaos, but not without order. The second is the gameplay. All the mechanics, all the enemies, all puzzles. Designed to create mind-altering effects, which means in every section, platforming, shooting, or puzzle solving, we're going to push your sensory receivers to the limit. Thank you.
Bok, Mihaela ovdje iz tima Quads Games. Mi trenutno razvijamo igru koja se zove Split Decision, koja se bavi životom boksčkog suca u propalom industrijskom gradiću Brightonu. Igra se dijeli na 2 dijela. Onaj u kojem se odvija boksački meč, u kojem se i dešava glavni gameplay uz druge stvari. I onaj drugi dio gdje se odvija sama priča, gdje imamo posljedice naših radnja koje radimo za vrijeme boksačkog meča. Priča se mijenja ovisno o tome kakve odluke radi igrač za vrijeme boksačkog meča i zbog toga imamo različite završetke ovisno o tim odlukama. Naši vizuali inspirirani su takozvanim teletext formatom kojega većina ljudi u Europi vjerojatno već i poznaje. To je format koji se vidi svaki put kada upališ televiziju i klikneš na određeni gumb na TV-u, onda se pred tobom pojavi pikselizirani ekran koji se uglavnom sastoji od teksta i pokojih minimalističkih crteža koje podsjećaju na 8-bit pixel art. Zbog toga je naša igra također inspirirana tim teletext formatom u vrlo saturiranim RGB bojama i preklapajući te hipersaturirane slike imamo malo psihodelični vibe u cijeloj igri. Planiramo izdati igru u studenom 2026. godine, a trenutno je vani demo verzija u kojoj možete odigrati prvih nekoliko borbi. Tako da nadam se da ćete skinuti igru na Steamu, wishlistati ju i uživajte. Ćao!
Hello! Let us introduce Nuclear Gladiators 3000!
The game is an action roguelite where you can become a star in the most brutal television show.
Defeat hordes of robots and mutants and win big prizes. Show the audience how badass you are!
The game has Twitch integration, and the people watching your Twitch stream can become literally the audience of the show, deciding if they help you or banish you. This way, they can influence directly the outcome of each run.
The game is very addictive and fun. It was made with a lot of love by a small indie studio of just 2 people.
Players have already left very nice Steam reviews, and we are sure you will have a great time playing it.
You can try a demo, and if you like it, go for the full experience.
Yeah, have fun, dudes!
Have fun.
Fala meus amigos, eu me chamo Jordi e eu sou o desenvolvedor de Smurk, que é um roguelike de batalhas automáticas, onde você controla um time nessa corporação chamada Smurk Inc. E o objetivo do seu time é trazer felicidade para os clientes tristes. O jogo acontece ao decorrer de vários dias e o objetivo é você sobreviver todos esses dias. Cada dia você vai poder contratar novos amigos para o seu time, você pode demiti-los, melhorá-los e tal. E a segunda fase do dia é a fase onde eles vão para o trabalho. Essa fase acontece de maneira automática, então cada amigo ele vai ativar a cada X segundos e ele vai gerar felicidade, além de ativar a habilidade dele, se ele tiver uma habilidade de ativação. O jogo tem mais de 80 amigos, cada um tem habilidades únicas. O jogo também tem inúmeras relíquias e cartas de tarô que você usa para modificar os amigos. E um fato curioso é que quando um amigo ativa ou quando ele é contratado, toca um som, e esses sons foram gravados com a boca, porque era o que eu conseguia fazer sozinho. Então muito do que me inspirou a fazer esse jogo era conseguir mesurar o escopo ali para fazer coisas que eu conseguiria fazer sozinho. Então as ilustrações foram feitas à mão e remetem muito ao que eu desenhava quando eu era criança ou durante toda a minha vida ali, que são desenhos mais caóticos assim, mais cartunescos. Os sons, como eu não tinha habilidade nenhuma com edição de som, eu gravei eles com a boca, além dos sons dos amigos, sons do menu do jogo, da UI, quando você vence, quando você perde a partida, foram gravados também com a boca. Então, eu acho que tudo isso adicionou uma vibe bem maneira do jogo, bem única. E eu acho que muito da psicodelia e também se remete a isso. São as experiências pessoais daquela pessoa e como ela interpreta e como ela reproduz isso para os outros. Então eu estou muito feliz de estar participando aqui do festival e eu espero que vocês se divirtam com Smurk. E a demo está disponível lá na Steam.
Hi, I'm Leo. So the internet started because we were obsessed with a specific feeling. You know that feeling in PT where you're just walking down on a hallway and nothing has happened yet, but you're already terrified. Or in Silent Hill where the monsters aren't really monsters, they are him. That's what we wanted to make. We built the dinner around a simple idea. What if the scariest place wasn't a haunted house or a nightmare world? What if it was just your kitchen on a normal Tuesday? You play as Eric, a war veteran trying to get dinner ready for his family, and that's it. But Eric's mind is broken in ways he doesn't even fully understand. And slowly, the apartment starts lying to him. What we took from games like mood washing is that horror here hard that's when it's quite first, when it feels almost normal, and that it doesn't. For us, psychedelia in game isn't really about colors or distorted visuals. It's about losing trust in what you are seeing. It's that moment when you look at something familiar and it just feels wrong, you know? A room that you know, a song that you recognize, but something is off and you can't explain why. That's what trauma actually does to people. It rewires the way they experience reality. Ordinary things stop feeling safe, and that's sadly the space we wanted the dinner to live in. Not the supernatural, the psychological. It's a short game, but we really hope it stays with you. Thank you.
Physics, action, roguelite, boss battles. The three words that describe Fall Fate.
Hi, I'm Bliss from Confusions. Gambling preys on people, so I chose to make an anti-gambling game.
The enemy you face are made from small neon light. A neon world would have a good contrast. Flat for plinko, neon for action. They glow when they attack and show their weaknesses. You have control, your pace, your risk, your trajectories, your parry, your upgrades. There are some visual comfort options. Let me know if you require something else.
The lost account you will find belong to Kev. You and Kev will go through gambling addiction together. The writing is a dash of high literature paired with online issues.
Try Alpha 8. If not, there are many interesting games here. I'm sure you'll find something you like. Thank you.
ขอบคุณครับ
Hola, soy Ricardo Huerta Espinosa, desarrollador de Sí, Jefe. ¿De dónde nace la idea? Bueno, el juego lo empiezo a desarrollar a mediados de 2025, cuando estaba en una época en la que estaba muy interesado acerca de la farmacología, ¿verdad? Y las sustancias que alteran la mente, o sea, las drogas. Estaba muy interesado en investigar sobre el tema. Y bueno, mi juego favorito de siempre ha sido Binding of Isaac. Y mi género de videojuego favorito siempre ha sido los juegos de disparos. Entonces, combiné estas tres ideas, ¿no? Mi género favorito, que son los disparos, con mi videojuego favorito, que es Binding of Isaac, roguelike, objetos aleatorios, cada partida es diferente. Ese concepto con mi hobby favorito. No, pero bueno, con el tema que me estaba llamando la atención, que eran las drogas, ¿no? Entonces vamos a combinar esas tres cosas. Y es cuando nace la idea de Sí, Jefe, pero no nace en México. El juego originalmente estaba basado en un pueblo marginado de África, digamos, o sea, era como genérico. Pero bueno, empiezo a desarrollar el juego y voy viendo y digo, oye, le veo potencial, ¿por qué no lo adapto a México? Porque el juego tampoco lo tenía pensado lanzar, era como un hobby nada más, lo voy a trabajar en mis tiempos libres y nada más para mí, digamos. Cuando le empiezo a ver el potencial, decido cambiar el concepto a México y además empezar a trabajar para, digamos, comercializarlo, ¿no? Y es cuando también ya nace también el título del juego, que es Sí, jefe, que es como esta respuesta típica en México, bueno, no sé si típica, pero conocida en México, ¿no? Cuando te refieres a una autoridad por encima de ti, ¿no? Sí, jefe, como usted diga, jefe. Entonces, es utilizando esa respuesta, pero en un concepto como de que le está dando el avión, porque la protagonista es muy rebelde y todo, ¿no? Dentro del juego. Que bueno, también el juego tiene esta identidad de la protagonista porque como es en primera persona, todo lo vemos desde su perspectiva. También por el tema de las drogas, ¿no? Para ver el efecto en primera persona. Pero bueno, el juego tiene este estilo también pixeleado precisamente por lo mismo, porque como todo lo vemos desde la perspectiva de la chica, parte de su personalidad es que a ella le gustan los juegos retro, ¿verdad? Los juegos pixeleados. Entonces, por eso vemos el juego con esa estética y bueno, de aquí nace todo el argumento de Sí, jefe. Añádanlo a su lista de deseados.
Hello, my name is Gleb Echo. I'm a game developer from Mr. Dive Studio, and I'm here to show you about our project, The Confinement. The Confinement is a 3D platforming game mixing elements about parkour and platforming mechanics. It is a game focused more on speedrunning and fast precision movement. The game is in development for PC and console and is published by Qbyte Interactive. And for the aesthetic, we tried to create this environment focusing on this brutalistic aesthetic and mixing with these digital and futuristic elements, like from the neon elements and from the digital aesthetic also. And for the digital effects, we're creating these elements that sound like glitchy noises or high flashes, and combining those elements create a very psychedelic experience also that we are very proud to get it. And yeah, the games have a unique aspect about the aesthetic and creating like this environment that's like is like glitching about is about to collapse. And you also have a story that you are fighting against a AI that creates this environment to challenge you to prove your mechanics also. And yeah, the game is going to launch very soon and going to be available for different platforms. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Alex, and I'm a South African game developer making a first-person shooter called Meathook, which combines survival horror with point-and-click style interaction and a physics-driven weapon system. You're suspended from a meathook and bound to a sinister, ritualistic conveyor mechanism. Reach for weapons and items, explore labyrinthine tunnels, and kill the cultists who took you captive with an assortment of punchy guns. The mechanics are unusual, the setup is strange, and the urban setting is eerie, all supported by a surreal retro PSX art style. The colors are vibrant, the textures are crunchy, models are low poly and distorted, the effects are flashy, and the score is dark and industrial. The world building also includes bizarre Lovecraftian elements. All these story, design, and aesthetic decisions contribute to a visceral experience that is distinctly psychedelic. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to the Psychedelic Fest. I am Shrey Kachap from Cypher Interactive, and this is Cosmic Race. It's a fast-paced sci-fi arcade racing game with vehicular combat. Racers here are battling in the galaxy's most adventurous and the deadliest racing tournament, that is the Galactic Showdown, and they are competing for the trophy of the Galactic Champion, where you are not just battling against the opponents but also fighting against the environmental destructions, dynamic racetracks, and monsters from the extraterrestrial. It's like a tribute to all the racing games that we have played in our childhood. We have picked all the elements from them and tried to amalgamate them into a beautiful experience that combines chaos, cinematics, and competitive gameplay at the same time. Cosmic Race is absolutely fun when it's played on multiplayer. The demo is live. Currently we have the capacity of 8 players in a race. Call your friends in, and I promise you're gonna have a blast of time. You can call us for the races as well. The Discord server is already waiting for you guys to join. Come in and let's keep racing.
Eu chamo Miguel, eu sou o escritor e um dos artistas por trás do Pantalassa. Nós somos uma equipa pequena, independente, e este é o nosso primeiro projeto e nós achamos mesmo que queremos alguma coisa. É um jogo, é um jogo point and click, puzzle, que se passa num universo subaquático onde tu jogas como um AI, desculpa, uma inteligência artificial, e és tipo um robô que está tipo a descobrir este novo corpo e esta nova civilização e a sua humanidade neste sítio assim muito alienígena e bizarro. E de facto, mas não usamos a arte ou escrita por AI. No point and click, mesmo estando inspirado no que veio no passado, isto sendo inspirado por aqueles jogos mais artísticos dos anos 90 e 2000, mas eu acho que ainda há uma audiência para point and click. Claro que é um nicho também, só que sim, 18 de maio de 2026. Quanto é que vai custar? 13,99€, mas depende na região. Sim.
四肢欠損、記憶喪失、獅子そぎ魔の監禁と献身。やっとまたお揃いになれた。愛してるよ。欠損失愛。
こんにちは。私は日本からサイコデリックフェスティバルに参加しました。私はサイコホラーロマンスアドベンチャーゲーム、欠損失愛を一人で開発しています。このゲームは、ライブ 2D フルアニメーション、立体音響フルボイス、360度パノラマのポイントクリックで、ヤンデレがすぐそばにいるようなホラー体験を味わえます。欠損失愛の開発を始めるとき、私は印象に残るアートスタイルを模索しました。日本のインディーゲーム、特にアドベンチャーゲームやビジュアルノベルでは、 ファミレスを享受せよ、都市伝説解体センターなど、色数を絞ったレトロな雰囲気のアートスタイルが人気です。私はこのビジュアルに影響を受けつつも、差別化を図りたいと試行錯誤しました。ライブ 2D によるシームレスなアニメーションを生かすため、ピクセルアートは避け、私自身が好きなアニメ風のアートを目指しました。また、日本のホラーゲームには少ない鮮やかな原色をキーカラーに用いることを思いつきました。キーカラー以外の色は彩度を抑え、余分な書き込みを減らしました。X のアンケートでも、キーカラーを引き立てる配色の方が好評でした。背景は白を基調としています。暗く沈んだ印象になりがちなホラーゲームとの差別化のため、そして過激なホラーが苦手な女性でも手に取りやすい雰囲気にしたかったからです。そうして、欠損質愛のサイケデリックなアートスタイルが完成しました。デモ版をプレイして、ライブ 2D で生き生きと動く猟奇犯罪者との監禁介護生活を体験してください。シシソギマは、きっとあなたに鮮烈な悪夢を見せてくれるでしょう。
Hello，大家好，我们是夫妻档工作室。
我是策划兼程序 J，
我是美术 Kelly。
我们正在制作工作室的第一款全新肉鸽音游《节奏勇者》。
节奏勇者是一款美术采用像素风格，玩法上简单来说就像是节奏消消乐一样。
在霓虹闪烁的9宫格战场上，跟随节拍消除元素棋子，召唤炫目弹幕击退怪物狂潮，随机道具组合加动感电音，带来沉浸式的 disco 战斗体验。
在主页搜索节奏勇者 demo 即可免费试玩，
可以抖音搜索瑜伽猪，关注我们的开发日常。拜拜。
拜拜。
Hey everyone, I'm Bernardo del Castillo, also known as Raptus Games, and I'm the solo developer of NBB.exe. I'm originally from Chile, now living in Spain, and I've been developing games for almost 10 years, and this is my first big solo project. The project started off as something emulating a little bit of Bomberman, and the more it went forward, the more I wanted to keep on adding these surreal sci-fi Metroidvania elements to it. So in many ways, I think that the psychedelia that comes through is about the corruption of systems. That's something that really interests me as a creator, and how through maybe the deconstruction of structures, we end up with something kind of cool, kind of unexpected and cool. And that's very ingrained with the topic of the game itself, like the narrative. So it's a really challenging game. It's much bigger than you'd expect. It has a lot to it. But if you're up for a challenge, yeah, I would thoroughly recommend you trying it out. There's a demo too. So yeah, let me know what you think.
Hi, I'm Eric, and sitting in front of me is Fingit, my purple buddy. This game, you see, is called Dukido. My team and I have worked on it for about 3 years. It's an action RTS, kind of like Pikmin, but it's way cooler. And it has online co-op. As far as psychedelic themes are concerned, our music takes inspiration from psychedelic genres like progressive rock, Goa, and psytrance. Our visuals use psychedelic, bombastic colors and bizarre, spacey subjects. Dukido is fun with friends. If you like what you see, give the game a wishlist and try out the demo. Fingit, do you have anything you want to add?
Access the source of your ビデオゲームノスタルジア&スコアビッグ by collecting the smiling skulls of humanity. ゲーマルチチュードオブアザー finite collectables. Unlock unreal abilities and experience the fantastical reality of computer interactive entertainment across 10 kaleidoscopic perspectives on video game and contemporary culture. Welcome to the Radiant Illusion Arcade Platforming at its finest.
'Hejsan allesammans, jag heter Filip och är grundare för det pyttelilla spelföretaget Somatform. Jag är också regissör och designer för vår debuttitel, arkadplattformsspelet Radiant Illusion. Ni skulle kunna tänka er det som om den teoretiska boken Capitalist Realism och PlayStation 1-spelet Jumping Flash tappade förståndet tillsammans under en drum and bass-spelning inuti en fragmenterad dröm. Men den huvudsakliga inspirationen till spelet är i grund och botten vår västerländska samtid. Dess kultur och dataspelets uttryck i sig självt. Och via den inriktningen förhör vi vår omgivning genom vår tids mest allomfattande medieform, alltså tv och dataspel. Vilket då oundvikligen genererar en surrealistisk värld, både visuellt men också tematiskt och narrativmässigt. Vilket är varifrån den psykedeliska aspekten kommer in i spelet. Så jag tänker jag låter teamets lead artist Vera förklara lite mer om det visuella.
Hi, I'm Vera. I'm an artist for the game Radiant Illusion, a 3D collectathon movement platformer. Our game draws some of its art style from the vaporwave genre, as it too is a satirization of capitalism, as well as early internet-era art and philosophy. I think the optimism present in a lot of this early internet-era art is really neat and something I'm trying to include as much as possible for our game. Radiant Illusion is based off Mark Fisher's book, Capitalist Realism, and I think the juxtaposition of this early internet-era art against Mark Fisher's sort of defeatist conclusion at the end of the book will create some good cognitive dissonance in the player, as well as tie into the themes of our game when it comes to the empty promise of the free market. Something that has massively inspired my vision for the art is Joel G's wonderful Aina series, a brilliant surrealist animation, which you should go check out as well as us. The environmental design especially, I think, is really striking and memorable, and I'm aiming to create a similar feeling as I got from watching that in our game. Yeah, you can find us on Steam, and there's a free demo available on itch.io.
Och som Vera sa så kan ni redan nu testa på demot som vi har uppe på itch. Vi har i och med detta event uppdaterat det till 1.4. Så det finns mer movesets och lite nya visuella godisbitar spridda runt omkring i demot. Så i samband med detta event helt enkelt. Så tänkte vi även visa en ny trailer för att fira detta tillfälle. Så håll till godo och än en gång tusen tack för detta. Hej då!
Hi, we're Capricioso Studio from Cebu, Philippines. I'm Dane, and this is Haphazard Angel, our chaotic co-op game where 2 to 4 players control one wing each on the same angel. On paper, it sounds very simple, but once you're in a run, everything becomes a mess in the best way. You're coordinating, arguing, clutching, and sometimes failing together in real life.
Hi, I'm Mika, the lead artist. Our art style is cute on the surface, but we love mixing that with unsettling surreal elements. For us, psychedelic means familiar shapes becoming strange, body parts in places they should not be, environments that feel like dreams, and obstacles that look playful but behave like nightmares. The goal is to make players feel like the world is bending around them, while they try to survive it and work together to capture the essences.
Hi, I'm June. We try to create moments where control slips just a little. Not unfair, but unpredictable enough that every run feels different. A lot of the fun is watching teamwork break down, then somehow come back together in a clutch. That chaos is the heart of the game.
Thanks for featuring us in Psychodelic Festival 2026. We're excited to share Haphazard Angel with you, and we hope you enjoy the chaos.
Muy buenas tardes a todos, yo soy Strider Spinel, ahora con mi máscara del Fausto 4 y pues quiero agradecer al Festival Psicodélico el haber incluido a Monstroscopy dentro de sus filas, porque me dicen que visualmente está muy locochón y cargado y eso la verdad me gusta, ¿no? Porque me encanta esa textura en todo tipo de manifestaciones artísticas, o sea, me encanta, ¿no? Me encanta. Claro, los videojuegos desde hace mucho tiempo pues que ya están empezando a generar también ese tipo de propuestas visuales y también dentro de lo narrativo, ¿no? Lo psicodélico no solamente se queda en lo visual, sino también en la manera en la que nos aproximamos a las historias, al diseño de personajes y por supuesto pues también al gameplay, ¿no? Te seguimos trabajando aquí, crear nuevo contenido para el juego. Pronto vamos a dar más noticias al respecto de lo que estamos haciendo. Y bueno, por nuestra parte, justo ahora pues queremos comentar que estamos haciendo una pequeña colaboración con el videojuego de Creepy Love. Entonces muy pronto van a ver un poco de eso, de este crossover entre juegos indies alrededor del mundo. Entonces pues espero que estén aquí al pendiente y pues que sigan apoyando a Monstroscopy. Muchísimas gracias.
Всем привет, это Байони. Mind Control — это очень личный проект, который я разрабатывал долгие 7 лет. Это игра моей мечты, очень масштабная игра. Я вдохновлялся проектами дизайнеров Sphere 65 и Суд 51. А также фильмами Дэвида Линча, чьи работы подарили моей игре потрясающую мистическую атмосферу. Mind Control — это игра о чувствах, личных травмах, о боге и религии в масштабах трагедии, которая затронула целый город. В этой игре каждое ваше действие имеет вес. Сложная система кармы анализирует ваши решения и действия, определяет, какую из 4 концовок вы получите. Моя маленькая гордость — уникальная боесистема Triple-R, которая является смесью рельсового тира и JRPG. Ее цель — сделать классические пошаговые бои более захватывающими и динамичными. Пользуясь моментом, также хочу поблагодарить продюсер Hot Office 1, который подарил игре отличный перевод и сделал ее доступной для большого количества игроков по всему миру. На фестивале также будет представлена и вторая моя игра, Gender Horror Creepy Love, которая долгое время была мини-игрой Mind Control и стала самостоятельным проектом после того, как получила релиз на itch. У нее есть небольшая, но сильная фан-база. И также недавно игра получила награду от разработчика RPG Maker за лучший экшен. Атмосфера Creepy Creepy Love балансирует между наивным визуалом аниме 90-х, который, кстати, игре подарила наша художница Graphic Animal, и экшеном, вдохновленным японскими эксплуатационными фильмами. Игра постоянно развивается и получает обновления, новые концовки, режимы и персонажи. В этом году у нас будет обновление, которое позволит игрокам пройти игру с одной из соперниц, Хинату, а еще у нас в разработке коллаборация с потрясающим файтиком Монстроскопи, над которой мы очень усердно работаем. Уверен, что мои игры не останутся равнодушными. Спасибо большое за внимание и до новых встреч.
Do you ever feel like your job is slowly turning into a boss fight? I made a game where it literally is. Santa was supposed to deliver gifts, but then he realized who was ruining presents. Therefore, he made a new list. Santa Hitless CEO Edition. It's a single-player roguelite shooter, but then instead of monsters, you fight CEOs. Therefore, every run becomes a fight for workplace justice. You upgrade your weapons, get stronger, and push forward. But the higher you get in the bureaucracy tower, the crazier the things get. The game gets intense, fast, and sometimes overwhelming. Therefore, the world becomes louder, weirder, and even more chaotic. Almost surreal. Hi, I'm Unlucky, also known as Unluckysaurus. I am an indie developer from Mexico, and I wanted to make something fun, chaotic, and something meaningful to society, but then also a little too real. Therefore, I turn it into a game. So yeah, if you ever feel overwhelmed at work, then you might enjoy this a little too much.
Hi, Psychodelic Festival. It's awesome to be able to talk to you a little bit about my game, Some Type of Trip. Yeah, like psychedelics. What an interesting topic. Definitely my game falls into the category of having a really trippy look and feel to it. Part of it is actually pretty personal because when I was going through a lot of different things, and you know, we don't all have easy lives, and I had to basically find different alternative therapies to help me get through difficult times in my life. And so one of those was definitely the use of psychedelics in helping get through that trauma and like see things a lot more clearly. And so that was actually something too that inspired my game. If you go through and you play my game, you'll see that like each level is basically a life lesson. It's a story, it's a continuous story, and each one is like an essay or a poem talking about different things that we all face in life. It all starts where you're laying on your grandma's couch. For me, that's like the safe place. Laying on my grandma's couch and just thinking back to when I was a little kid. It's just a safe place. And it goes from there talking about companions, friends that we have. It talks about difficult topics. It talks about distractions that we have in our lives, social media, things like that. And so, yeah, this game is definitely a journey. It's a typing game. Sometimes it's chill, sometimes it's relaxing, and sometimes it's intense. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to listen, and I hope that you play the game and really enjoy it. Thank you.
Are you friend or foe? You're the new dungeon custodian extraordinaire. Excellent. You will take care of the needs of your co-workers and solve their little crisis. Decorate their quarters and restore their workspaces. and investigate heinous acts of treason and sabotage. You may even get some free time to play cards with the staff. Now, allow me to present our establishment. Behold our impeccably maintained facilities. Widely regarded as the top address for adventure-seeking folks. Renowned for our entertainment program and our highly skilled expert-level monsters. A challenge many have found worth dying for. Are you up for the job? Who writes this stuff?
Greetings.
Hello.
We're Jana and Friedrich from Red King, a small team from Germany. And we are here because we really like dungeons as a setting. We like them in games, of course, and in comics, books, even in music. And what do you think about dungeons?
Yeah, I love the monsters especially.
Of course.
The mysterious corridors that are just lit by torches, that you don't know where to go, that it's a labyrinth of multi-levels, that you never really know what's around the corner, all that makes the dungeon very exciting for us.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole atmosphere of dungeons. And with Mobs and Mobs, we'd like to explore these dungeons, this great atmosphere in a different way than the usual games where you just go in and kill and slash every monster you see. And we think they have a lot of personality and character.
Yeah.
And we want to talk to these characters.
So it's an unusual game that is a mix of different genres. Like you talk like in a visual novel, you investigate, like in a detective game, you have puzzles, you decorate the workspaces of the monsters, and you have a combat system that is a card game where you play cards with the monsters, but also against critters and adventurers.
Right, and all this in a kind of psychedelic look, because we are very retro-inspired, but we don't target a specific old computer. So we have like a color palette that we like and that we think is perfect for the dungeon. So people tell us with the pixelation and the dithering and the gritter movement, it has a very distinct look and it evokes a lot of childhood nostalgia.
Yeah, so if you love this retro style, the mysterious atmosphere of dungeons, want to explore the backstory of monsters and become part of this quirky family, and to eventually save the dungeon, Mobs and Mobs should be your game.
Coming out end of this year. Make sure you play the demo on Steam and wishlist it.
Headphones in, volume up. This is not a drill. Welcome to Strict 9, a bullet heaven fever dream where every shot drops to the beat. We don't just fight, we dance with destruction. Miss a beat, you'll fall off tempo. Timing's everything. Build that streak and ride the wave. Every stage has its own playlist, so you better keep up. Strict 9, dropping soon. Wishlist now, Cataract. Links in the description.
Hey everyone, I'm Migs, the producer and composer behind Strict 9 Rhythm Rat Rampage, a game where music isn't just about rhythm, it's firepower. You know, Rhythm Rat Rampage started from a late night Discord call. It was a wild idea. We thought, what if we made a music-first action game, but music is the gameplay and every beat pulls a trigger? In this game, you play as Strick and a crew of rats who love music and mayhem. Fight through hordes and hordes of mechanical mice, each set on breaking your streak and style. It's part rhythm action, part bullet heaven chaos, part roguelike thrill. All driven by music, leaderboards, weapons combos, and unlockable companions. Whether you're dodging a salvo of rockets or unleashing a barrage of bullets yourself, everything will feel like a dance. We can't wait to see how you'll play and shred this game. Strychnine, Rhythm Rat Rampage. Don't miss this beat.
Hi, I'm Yuri from Aldemar Studio, and I'm excited to finally share Lucid Falls. A self-published psychological horror adventure with deeply immersive atmosphere and cinematic visuals. One of the main ideas behind Lucid Falls is gravity shifting. Gravity doesn't follow the rules. Sometimes you'll need to turn the world itself to reach places that don't seem possible. Game is built around atmosphere, emotion, and tension.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Maxime Carcaillon et je suis le créateur d'Essence of the Chico. Je travaille sur ce projet depuis plus de 6 ans en parallèle avec mon activité d'environment artiste. C'est un jeu de puzzle aventure en rétro 3D où on incarne un enfant fougère qui s'éveille au fond d'un laboratoire de métabotanique qui va essayer de rejoindre la lumière extérieure comme une graine recherche le soleil. Je veux montrer avec ce jeu à quel point les différents éléments de la nature sont connectés dans un réseau dont nous faisons partie. Et parfois, il suffit de modifier un petit peu notre perception pour voir ce monde parallèle où les énergies communiquent entre elles, comme j'ai pu l'expérimenter. On retrouve cette révélation dans le jeu avec la mécanique de la vision, qui va permettre de voir ce monde, ces énergies, et de résoudre les énigmes, comprendre ce monde mystérieux et progresser. Je vois le psychédélisme comme une expérience introspective tournée vers l'extérieur, et elle rejoint en ce sens le jeu vidéo comme la musique ou la poésie. C'est aussi ce qu'on a voulu communiquer avec mon ami Philippe Reinhardt dans la musique du jeu. Une ambiance éthérée, propice à la méditation et une sorte de ralentissement du temps. Et pour les joueurs les plus curieux, certains collectibles contiennent de petits poèmes métaphysiques. Voilà ce qu'est Essence of the Chico, une expérience contemplative pour faire évoluer notre perception grâce à l'histoire des premiers pas d'un enfant. Merci à vous et bon jeu.
Gilgamesh Drift is like if Prince of Persia and Beat Saber had a baby, and that baby did LSD. Hello, Psychodelic Festival. I'm very excited to be a part of this celebration of games doing cool psychedelic stuff with their art styles, and I wanted to record this little video breaking down how we interpret psychedelia and what that means to us here at Mesh Collective. Oh, and as a disclaimer, please don't give LSD to babies. I'm Sai Narayan, and I am the founder and technical director of Mesh Collective. These are the amazing people that I am lucky to make games with, and Mesh Collective is the name of the game studio that I founded to help ship Gilgamesh Drift. One of the core inspirations for the psychedelic art style of Gilgamesh was the first Doctor Strange movie. That one scene where Benedict Cumberbatch's character gets launched through time and space after having his mind opened by the Ancient One is something that lives in my head rent-free after all these years. In that sequence, there's this one bit where Doctor Strange falls into this fractal shape that is continuously evolving. That was the moment that I knew that whatever the game I was building was, it needed to have fractals in it. On a technical level, we use a shader technique called ray marching in order to render the fractals that you can see in Gilgamesh. The awesome part of doing everything in a shader is that it makes it very easy to make things audio reactive, which, given that Gilgamesh is a rhythm parkour game, is amazing. Here are some early experiments from years ago where I was testing that tech out. But ultimately, what drew me to the fractals, all the technical stuff aside, is that psychedelic art in general feels like it's scratching the surface of the unknown. It's that sense of mystery and wonder, and maybe even a little bit of fear, of something that is too complicated for us to understand as humans. It's the idea of the sublime, and that there are deeper truths to reality just beyond the veil, that what we can see and understand is just the beginning. Psychedelic art is how I connect to that deeper mystery. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Trunkas, developer Devlated. I'm very happy Devlated is in the Psychedelic Festival. Devlated is a fast-paced movie shooter with RPG elements in which you eat demons to survive. It has 30 levels, 30 big bosses, and a shit ton of Gianni Machagrano one-liners. You clearly notice the psychedelic elements when you play and indulge your eyes and ears in the sensory overload of high-speed action, blood and gore across the screen. The world is dark and just full of pain, the kind of pain that make you devour demons for survival. I make this game because I love Diablo, Doom, Devil May Cry, and Serious Sam, so I put them into a blender with some body horror spice to make something raw, unique, violent, and unapologetically yourself. Welcome to the Devlated world. I hope you like this trip.
I'm Kurt Tykoft, the developer of Your Holy and Virtuous Heretic, an atmospheric RPG with an aesthetic that combines demonology, retro dungeon crawling, and digital psychedelics. As a kid with unrestricted internet access, playing weird stuff from GameJolt, especially like ROM hacks and RPG Maker games, psychedelia was something that made games feel exciting and endlessly deep. So I find that games with psychedelic aesthetics and design decisions can create this feeling of rewriting the rules. But when a game doesn't strongly resemble other games, it resets your expectations and makes you think about the game as its own cohesive work. And it's really freeing for both the developer and the player because it means that you can experiment with mechanics in new ways. In games that do this, it often feels like anything can happen next. So of course, as a developer, once you steep yourself in visuals like this for a long time, they kind of lose that aspect a little bit. And my game does have individual elements that are taken from other games. I try to do so with an intentionality that I think makes it distinct, aiming to avoid inheriting certain design choices by accident. But I keep all of these ideas about psychedelia in mind, and I try to constantly reframe visuals and mechanics to make the player think about them in new ways and in new contexts.
Hello, my name is Matt Thompson, and I am the director for Blood on the Thames. Blood on the Thames is a supernatural murder mystery that, on the surface, is set in 1888 London. But as you dive down deep, you begin to learn that there's a bit more going on here. This dive is exactly where we decided to explore fun and interesting visual effects in order to convey the wrongness of what was happening in the story. As you can see, while the main game comprises of this pencil sketch effect, we explicitly use alternative visual effects to make things that are magical or weird stand out. Some are visually simple, like the use of a DOS screen for the dream sequences. Others use vibrant colors to show alien elements of the world that directly contrast with the background elements. But the most psychedelic of the effects we use by far is the glitch effect for magic. Because the main character is unable to comprehend what magic is, the player sees it as static or VHS errors or other computerized effects. Eventually, the game itself accumulates to a completely twisted version of the world, using both color, space, and visual effects to show up how much the world has fallen apart. We hope you enjoy this game and all the fun little effects we added to make it.
Hello, hi, this is Kevin Spees. I'm Game Board Games. I'm a solo developer, and good to talk to you here from Vancouver, BC, Canada. My game is Roadhouse Manager, and it's an interesting game. It's an interesting game, roguelite, and it combines the chaos of a cooking time management game, but with drinks instead of cooking, and across with fighting mechanics of a roguelite, as you are the one-man operation, a bouncer, a bartender, a hero in Roadhouse Manager. The game took a lot of influences. I wanted to make something that's never been done before, and one of the primary inspirations was the old arcade classic Tapper. I started off the idea of what if Tapper was remade today into a roguelite. Another inspiration thematically was the movie Roadhouse, which took a lot of cues from comedy and action adventure with the late 80s kind of dynamics going on there. My game is pretty psychedelic. There's aliens, there's polar bears, there's a meta-aware evil boss that knows he's in a video game and he's trying to defeat you on the promise of being upgraded into 3 dimensions from his usual 2 dimensions. So there's a lot of really cool things. The demo is going to be out in, I don't know, about 2 months or so. It's always a couple more weeks, but I am getting pretty close, and I can't wait to share the game with you all. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Tim, and I'm from a gaming studio called Quantumuse, which is basically a one-man team. I'm developing Immortum, a slow-burn horror game happening in space, where a mother is searching for her dying child. It starts off as a simple game, but ends up you exploring different rooms and corridors in a foreign, distant spaceship. And these corridors that become familiar suddenly in a blink of an eye turn into something completely different. Completely different forgotten memories that somehow bleed from another reality. While you play, you question your own reality and what it means to actually be human and live this life. It manifests the true meaning in the psychedelic sense of mind manifesting. I personally grew up on horror movies back when my dad rented VHS tapes and we would watch Alien with the entire family. Movie time was a sacred time for everybody. It was at least once a week where we all gathered around and watched one movie. I also loved sci-fi movies as well. But the best thing is when sci-fi was combined with horror, like Alien for example, which is why Immortum's corridors are inspired directly by Alien, the dark, manifesting corridors that look unfriendly and even intimidating in times. The plot was also inspired by games like Soma, Signalis and Status, and has some strong reference to The Matrix, where I took inspiration because it's also one of my favorite movies of all time. You end up exploring Immortum, but in the end you also explore yourself and what it means to be human and what it all means. And in the end, if you scream in space, nobody will hear you.
If Decade can be called psychedelic in a way, then it's probably down to 2 things. Firstly, that I have no artistic talent. In fact, I'd never made art before making Decade. I was much more comfortable writing and making music. And secondly, despite my lack of artistic talent, I have very strong ideas about what I like and what I don't like. I like messiness and distortion and texture and abstraction. I like things that don't quite align. I like asymmetry. And I think it's that combination that gives Decade a kind of a somewhat more unique and perhaps psychedelic feel. And I hope, and I think it is the case, that the fun that I had at being expressive and experimenting and being kind of playful in a very amateurish way with art, I hope some of the joy of that comes across in the game itself.
こんにちは。RX1040 を一人で開発している福田です。このゲームの根っこにあるのは AI やロボティクスが進化していく世界の中で人間の存在価値はどうなってしまうのかという問いです。便利になっていく一方で人間が判断することや感じることの意味が少しずつ薄れていくんじゃないかという感覚がずっと頭の中にありました。RX1040 の無機質な空間やどこか感情の希薄な世界観はそういったイメージから来ています。整然としていて合理的で美しい。でもそこにいるプレイヤーだけが生身の感覚を持っている存在なんです。僕にとってのサイケデリックは派手な色彩というよりも物事を違った視点から切り取ることです。効率や最適化が支配する世界の中で、それでも人間の感覚はノイズを生む。そのノイズこそが人間らしさなんじゃないかと思っています。デザインを決めるときも常にそのバランスを考えています。システムはロジカルで正確に、でも演出や音、空間には少しの違和感を残す。そのズレがプレイヤー自身の存在を浮き上がらせる装置になればいいと思っています。このゲームがただのアリーナシューターとしてだけでなく、自分が何者なのかをほんの少し考えるきっかけになったら嬉しいです。
Hi, I'm Zapathy, and I made Form World with my partner Cheyenne. I feel like a big part of my process as a creative is impulse and following it. Because sometimes I'll get an idea and I'll just be like, that is stupid, like that's a dumb, worthless idea that sucks and nobody would ever do this. And then I realize like, holy shit, nobody would ever do this, which means I have to do it because nobody else will, you know? Like, I feel like a bad idea in a good game can turn into a really good and unique idea. And I feel like following those human impulses and just kind of like going with the flow and doing whatever is something that I really, really enjoy doing with my work that I feel is really valuable.
I'm Cheyennex, also known as Cheyenne, and I'm the other half of CZD. One of my goals while creating games is to make something honest and human. We made Formaworld for ourselves as well as just pure love of the game. I think something that separates a good creation from a truly great one is the ability to feel the passion of the developers behind it. While making Formaworld, we treated each new edition as a way to surprise the other person working on the game, and that made it a joy to develop. It also meant that nothing was off the table. If something didn't work, we refined it until it did. Because of this, we ended up with a game that was unapologetically us. Both of our skill sets and interests are on full display, and we tried our best to make every nook and cranny of the game have some sort of element to surprise players. Since you play as an interdimensional explorer, we wanted plenty for people to see and discover, not because the game told you to, but because you yourself found it out of your own curiosity. If you haven't played the game yet, I think you should go give it a try. It's totally free because we think that everyone should have the chance to experience games like this. Even now, there's still secrets that nobody has publicly found. You could be the one to discover it for everyone else, so go play it. You know, if you want to, of course.
Laments of a Platinum Rose utilizes a distinct and striking color palette, meaning to represent the first-person perspective of the robotic protagonist, Lilith. This extends to the screen border, which displays information about her current status, and even the pause screen, which is rendered to look like she is modifying her own settings.
Lilith is a one-of-a-kind, truly biomechanical automaton. As a precaution, she filters the world in a specific way to ensure her focus is always where it needs to be. She, quite literally, doesn't view the world as we do. The visual style is meant to communicate to the player the importance of seeing the world as she does. The world is full of unique NPCs, portrayed in a mixed media format, all showcasing the color scheme by which Lilith processes her world.
This was inspired by games with strong and striking visual styles such as Psychopomp Gold, Cruelty Squad, or Post Void. The game allows the player to explore the world using a system of map screens, which also lets them approach NPCs in the order they like. This was inspired by the detailed worlds of games like Deus Ex or Deltarune, where the game reacts to almost anything the player does. Political unrest is brewing somewhere deep within the capital city of Luminary. Lilith must get to the bottom of it and save her queen. This game tackles themes of transhumanism, divinity, power, and many more as Lilith explores this politically charged world full of differing perspectives.
Defend your queen. Find God.
As if you have a choice.
This game contains flashing graphics to potential.
Phantom Wranglers are hiring. Your job is simple. Find the anchor, identify the ghost, and get out. Just remember these 3 ghost scouting rules. Rule 1. Steer clear of paranormal activity. Falling books, flickering lights, possessed record players. Turn around and find a detour immediately. Rule 2. Find the anchor object. Whether it's a film camera, a fire extinguisher, or a flashlight. Figure out how to use it and properly identify the ghost before you leave. No guessing games. Rule 3. Practice your cardio. Run to the exit, submit your report, and clock out. Go home, have a beer, and leave the actual wrangling to us. Apply today to become our newest Ghost Scout.
「目覚めなさい。門は開かれました。」陰と陽、善と悪。東京に暗い幕が下りました。迅速に対処し、あなたの実力を発揮してください。期限は今日午前3時。それまでに成果を出すように。組織を失望させないように。
俺はただの殺し屋だ。なんでこう変なやつばかりに当たるんだ。 お前を始末したら俺はきっぱりと足を洗う。
東京を統括する新たな権力者が必要なんだ。
そんなの知ったこっちゃねえよ。
しつけが必要なようだな。天中グラー
また近いうちに会おう。
If the memories vanish, the cycle vanishes too. And Mistralia with it.
Feel the fire and claim your deliverance.